Greetings, this is Sybil Silver Phoenix, and in this video we'll be talking about the Pentacle. All Wiccan traditions view the Pentacle as a representation of the element of Earth. It is a feminine tool, thus it is receptive. The Pentacle is primarily used to bless objects due to its nature of drawing energy to itself. We use it as a plate, and we'll take a specific object and circle. We'll place the object upon the Pentacle here, the Pentacle plate. We will then do the magic, the blessing, the consecration upon the item, and drawing the energy into it. And then afterwards, it is blessed. It is consecrated. The Pentacle as an altar tool is a plate, usually made of ceramics or wood, but it can also be made of metal, stone, or glass as well. I have seen some glass ones, and I have seen stone ones, and I've seen a lot of metal ones. A Pentacle can also be made of paper. If you can't find a Pentacle that you like, or don't have the talent for sculpting any of the materials mentioned above, then just draw on a sheet of paper. You can customize it with rune phrases and other symbols to match the working that you're performing more perfectly than a piece of wood with just an encircled star upon it. Let your soul flow through onto the paper through your creativity and have fun with it. Now, I did a wooden Pentacle. This is my actual ritually used Pentacle. As you can see, all the little symbols there. I know I used a star for the topmost point, and then I used the elemental symbols for the elements around it, and then I got Thebian written. So if you know Thebian, you can read it. And there's a good look at it. If you like to read stuff that's in Thebian, feel free to translate and read that. The Pentacle is also a symbol worn by Wiccans as a symbol of their faith. The encircled star has many meanings. The first and most well-known of which is protection. Each point represents one of the 5 elements. They are, starting with the topmost, spirit, or the divine, the soul. Going to the lower right, we have fire. We then go up to air, over to water, to earth, back to spirit. The pentagram is a representation of the harmony wrought by the elemental forces of the universe when in balance. It is therefore a symbol of the witch's understanding of the universe as a whole. And when it is encircled, it shows that that wisdom is protected. In the Wiccan Rede, it states that when misfortune is a now, wear the witch's star upon thy brow. Which simply means that whenever, bad things are happening to you, feel free to wear this symbol of protection. And if you're practicing Wiccan, surely it'll be a blessed object, and it is a symbol of protection. And it'll help you. It's just another layer of protection in your daily life. It helps keep your mental focus. One can also draw upon the power of the divine or upon their own inner strength for protection. And using this symbol. It's a matter of moving up or down the elements. This also ties in with the second use of the symbol, invocation and banishment. Okay. One invokes the divine energy by drawing it down, starting at the topmost point of the star, which represents the divine, spirit and soul, and then moving to fire, to air, to water, to earth, and then back to the divine. In essence, you're drawing down the divine energies through the elements to reach the earthly, the material plane. And you're doing it as a petition, to the divine and all that, blah, blah, blah. Sending energy to the divine, or banishing, works in the opposite way, starting with spirit. You go to earth, you go to water, you go to air, you go to fire, and you go back to the divine. It's basically you petitioning the divine saying, hey, I can't deal with this on my own. I need your help. Help me. That's all that it means. Asking the divine for help in dealing with the banishment of negative energy, negative habits, evil spirits, and all that. It covers a whole range of things. Now I know many people believe the inverted pentacle is called a pentagram, but the truth is no. It is just an inverted pentacle. Pentagram is just the star without the circle. It can be normal or inverted. How it is positioned does not determine how it is to be named. In the Gardnerian and Alexandrian traditions of Wicca, the inverted pentagram represents the second degree of initiation, what I like to call the intermediate level. It is a level in which the practitioner can now be called a priest or priestess. The final and third degree is of the high priest and the high priestess, and that is a normal pentagram with a triangle symbol just within and going over the topmost point. The inversion of the symbol for the second degree merely represents that the now priest or priestess is a practitioner of witchcraft and is learning to manipulate the elemental forces, whereas the high priest or the high priestess version shows their mastery over the elemental forces and the full focus on the divine aspects of faith-based witchcraft. So in other words, the intermediates are just starting to learn how to practice, so you're going through the fundamentals, the basics, and the fundamentals is looking at the elements. The elements will tell you a lot about nature. It'll show you a lot about its different metaphors for thoughts and the feelings and your body and your soul and all that. There's different degrees to everything. There's earth represents the physical, water represents the emotional, air represents the mental or the psychic, fire represents the soul or the spirit, and which the spirit, the soul, ultimately that element on the pinnacle represents the divine, and we're all trying to connect with the divine, and we're all seeking the divine for aid, and we're all petitioning the divine for favors. Okay, some other meanings associated with the pinnacle are as follows. To Christians, it represents Satan. This idea was popularized by the Catholic priests back during the Spanish Inquisition of the Middle Ages. The star was a common symbol back then, meaning everything from heavenly glory to protection to being a form of control over the forces of nature and to just being a representation of a star. Once it became associated with the Christian devil, the Christians could use the appearance of this symbol upon or within any household as grounds to try the occupants as witches. In 1966, when Anton LaVey founded his Church of Satan in San Francisco, the pinnacle then became inexorably connected to Satanism. Before, it was through Christian ignorance that this symbol became associated with their devil. Now, we Wiccans and witches do not follow Satanism or any of its practices. We just have to deal with it in our own way. Personally, I find the appropriate symbol for Satanists to be the inverted cross, since they have built their faith to be in opposition to Christianity, but that's me. I know Anton LaVey chose the inverted pentagram with the Baphomet or goat's head inverted over it purely for shock value. I just wish he'd put a little more thought and planning into deciding upon the symbol for his church. It just adds fuel to the fire that gets the fundies in a frenzy over anything that pinnacle appears on or in. And that's my 2 cents. I hope you have enjoyed this video and perhaps learned something a little more about a very popular pagan symbol. So, marry meet, marry part until we marry and meet again, and blessed be, peace out.